Good morning. As you can tell, I slept very good last night. I'm having my coffee in my little S mug, even though I don't have any S's in my name. My family is Smith, so today I'm on honorary Smith. Today, I am going to be doing a project that I have been wanting to do for a little while, and that is use these old curtains that I had in my very first college apartment after the dorms. We had this giant window, and they had like vertical blinds, and to make it more homey, we replaced them with curtains. I've been hanging on to these curtains ever since, which has been 4 or 5 years now. They've moved with me to all my apartments, and I think I maybe reused them once, but they've mostly just been sitting in storage. So I think it's time for them to become a beautiful dress. I'm just getting some inspo right now, scrolling through Pinterest, getting ready to make my plans for the dress. Once again, no pattern. What's new? I also don't want to use a zipper because also what's new. So we're gonna figure something out. I think I'm gonna kind of piece together elements from other designs that I've made. Make a little lace back like corset for the middle of it, and then like similar to another top I've made, I think I'll use like the bust pattern for the like cups and make it a halter top, and then a big old flouncy skirt. And I also have some white fabric to use as lining, so let's see how it turns out. Here's the fabric we are working with today. So I've got 2 of these curtain panels. I actually have a third one, but I don't think I'll need more than 2. So I have this, and then this is the white sheet that I thrifted for the lining. So once again, all thrifted, reused materials. I'm just gonna kind of lay out the fabric and then cut matching pieces out of this and this so I can line it, and we'll see what's next. I'm reusing this like DIY pattern I made for a thrift flip a while ago, but it's got my measurements perfect. So anytime I need like a braless part of a top, something that I can wear and it'll support me, this is like what I go to. Okay, so I made some adjustments. This is kind of what it ended up looking like. Like I followed the thing, and then I decided I wanted it to come in a little bit more and then also be straight at the bottom so I can attach it better to the dress. I can gather it here if I need to once I put those like little darts in. And then I'm just cutting 2 of the same out because see there's 2 here. I'm cutting 2 of that out of the other fabric as well. So I just folded it so that way they'll be opposites, and I'm gonna trace the same pattern. I'm doing it this way because I'm gonna use the other panel of the skirt. The pattern's gonna be facing this way, so I'm trying to cut the top out to where it won't like be the different direction as the bottom of the skirt, if that makes sense. I want the pattern to look like uniform, so I'm gonna cut this out, and then I will do the straps and the like middle section. This is the thread color I chose. I could have used white, but I have other projects that are gonna be all white that I want to save the white thread for. So it's kind of like this taupe beigey color, kind of matches the curtain fabric. Got her all loaded up, and now it's time to sew. Here's what the lining looks like, and then I'm going to do the top layer. Now I am putting a straight stitch without back stitching at the bottom on a really large thread stitch length, so that way I can gather it and pull it, because I don't know if you noticed, but on the inner lining I put a dart at the bottom to like mimic the way that my ta-ta goes in. But this one, because it's on the outside of the dress, I don't really want another dart there because I already have this one. So at the bottom instead, it's gonna kind of gather like that, if that makes sense. Okay, I put those stitches in. I did 2 of them so that way the gather stays a little better once I scrunch it. But I'm not gonna pull it yet. I'm gonna wait until I secure it to the lining. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew around the edges, right sides together, and then I'll flip it inside out. Then I'll do a little scrunch, and then I'll secure the bottom down. So I have the lining sewed to the out part. You can see that it's like, there's like a big difference in how big this one is versus how big the back piece is, and that's where I'm gonna gather it. I'm gonna turn it inside out, gather it to where it needs to be, and then I'm gonna kind of iron it down so that way the seams lay nicely. and then I will cut out the middle piece. I folded the fabric over again, and I'm actually going to cut out 2 pieces of this for like the midriff section. The back's going to be open, but I want it to be a little bit more secure so that the lacing has something to hold on to. So instead of lining it with the white fabric, like on this one, I'm going to line it on with the thicker fabric. So I have a lot of this fabric, so I'll be fine. I made these little strips. I'm going to cut them up and then make loops on the sides. Before I like secure the middle piece front and back together, I decided to go ahead and attach the cups to it so that way like the attachment can be hidden between these 2 pieces. Same with these. I'm gonna attach them in the middle so that way it's like I'll sew it like that, and then when I sew it inside out, it'll go like that. You'll see. I sewed on the top part. I sewed the cups onto here, and since this edge is already finished because it was the curtain, I'm gonna put this at the top, so when I flip it inside out, this finished edge will cover up that on the back, if that makes sense. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting these pieces right sides together, and I'm also going to insert the, cut these and insert the loops on the side, and I'm gonna sew all around here, and then I'll flip it inside out. I've got this pinned, and now I just need to go sew it down, and then I will sew the back panel on. I got it all sewn together, and then these stick out like I was talking about. So now I'm gonna sew down the top part so it covers like that. Now that this is all done, gotta make the skirt and the straps and the string. So we're almost there. This might be a little too long, so I might end up cutting it and sewing it up like that, but we will see. This is gonna be the skirt. All I'm gonna do is gather it, like do the same thing with that stitch on one side and then just pull it and then put it in a circle. Easy peasy. All the things I said that I was going to do in the last clip, I did them. So I didn't really show you, but the skirt was pretty easy. And I did elastic in the back so it would stretch over my booty. Then I made a little string and I attached the necktie strap. So the dress is done. I'm going to go do my hair and makeup and get all cute. And then I'll put the dress on and show you. The dress is all done. Here she is. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And I even figured out how to tie the bow nicely. So there's the project. This video is probably not as long as the other one, but it was fun. Bye.